Hi everybody, welcome to another academic video. This one is all about having too many tasks to do. Hey, if you're new around here, my name is Caroline. I am a UK lecturer in physics. I'm going to jump straight into it because this week is such a busy week. It is my last teaching week of semester 2. So this is the last week I have to deliver undergraduate teaching classes. But somehow at this point every year in my calendar, there's just too many tasks to do within that last week. And I don't think I'm the only academic facing this. You know, when I walk around the department and I see the faces of my colleagues, I think we all have that slight look of, I've got to do too many activities in a single week. I mean, I've got a whole range of tasks. I've got to do assessed presentations for master students, for bachelor students. I've got PhD related forms that have to be filled in. I've got Fiverr stuff to complete. I've got basically a whole long list of tasks. If you are interested in the detail of my tasks, I have started keeping a blog post to go alongside these videos. So if you want a bit more content around these videos and you like it in written form, do check out my website. I'll put a link below, drcst.com, and you can see all the ins and outs of my week in the blog post. But basically, I have a lot of tasks I have to try to fit in to one academic week. And it's a bit harder because although this video is obviously being released on a Monday, it's actually a bank holiday here in the UK. So we have an extra bank holiday in May. So I now don't have 5 working days, but I have 4 working days to try to squeeze all these activities into. So what do I do to try to stop myself feeling like an overwhelmed academic? First up then, I am quite tasking, not brutal I guess, but I only put tasks in my activities for this upcoming week that have to be done in this week. So yes, I've got a long list of stuff that needs to get done, but some of it needs to happen this week and some of it can actually wait until next week or the week after. And so the first thing I do is I look through my activities and go, okay, that particular deliverable has to be done right now. I'm the admissions tutor, I have to get that admissions report out by the end of the week because of the university processing. I have to make sure that my undergraduates are assessed in their presentations before their course ends. So I pick out the things that really have to be done this week, and they're the ones that are going to make it onto my timetable of activities. And all the other tasks, all the other stuff I have to get done, I make a note of it so that I don't forget it. But then I put it to one side and it will not feature in my plan for the week. And that just helps to, I guess, minimise the number of activities I need to do. Yes, it can still feel overwhelming and I've got just too many things on my plate, too many things happening at the same time. But at least by taking a portion, if I can, of the activities away, it's not quite as many when I sit down and try to plan out my week. And I know what you may be thinking, oh, Caroline, you should have planned your semester better. You know, why do you have this crunch point at the end of the semester teaching when you seem to have too many things in one go? And honestly, it seems to happen every year. No matter how much I try to be organised and try to plan, this last teaching week of semester always seems to be full of things that have to simply be done in that week. And I think it's because some of those activities do actually have to happen at that particular point in the academic semester. You know, I can't assess the presentations for the students earlier. You know, I can't complete some of the PhD paperwork because it's their review process. It all kind of comes together and has to happen at the end of semester. So every year I try to be organised and to plan my semesters kind of effectively. And I don't think I do a terrible job of planning out my time. It's just there's something about this last week that means that yes, whatever I do, it just seems to be busy. My next tactic is rather than writing a massive to-do list, and I know that will work for some people listening, maybe that's your preferred way of dealing with activities. Instead, I go to my calendar and I actually block out time when I'm going to be working on each activity. Now, I've done this for a while and I've noticed it started to become a bit of a thing on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. People, I think, call it time blocking. But anyway, for me, it just helps if I put aside time in the day when I'm going to be working on a particular task. And when it's a busy week, I'm talking about timetabling almost everything that I'm doing. So yes, I'll have in the diary, go to this lecture, give this tutorial, write this report, do this presentation. But if it gets really busy in a week, I might also put into the timetable, eat lunch, check my emails, travelling time, anything that takes up time in my day will go onto the calendar. Now, I don't do that for the whole year. I don't log my travel for the whole year. I don't give myself allocated times to read my emails for the whole year. Although I know other people do that. They put times in their week where they want to check their email accounts. I just find when I've got a lot of things to do in a very short space of time, if I do this kind of activity of blocking out my time, it keeps my mind focused. I then don't wake up and think, oh, I've got to do X, Y, and Z. I just simply look at my calendar and go, okay, from 9 to 10, I'm doing this, then I'm having a break, then from 10:30 to 11:30, I'm doing this activity, then I'm going across to do this marking. It just means for me that I have a more kind of structured framework to tick off the activities I'm working through. And importantly, you might have heard me saying that last little bit, that I do put in breaks. I think it can be really tempting when that to-do list is just huge to avoid breaks, to say, okay, I've got too much to do, I can't pause for lunch, I can't take a walk, I've got no time to cook. And for me anyway, I don't find that really very effective. I need to have some breaks in order to be able to keep working productively, gosh, that's a hard word to say, productively, on the tasking that I'm facing. So in my plan, there will be time for sport. I will have time to go out, get some fresh air, do some activities. I will have time to cook a decent meal, so I'm not just running from one place to the next trying to eat food on the go. And I will really try to get to bed at a reasonable time. I don't want to be working late, really late at night on these activities. I want to be able to do them in a manageable way. And if I've got so many activities, I'm thinking I have to work all through the night, then it's just too much. If that's the case, then I will go back to my kind of university team and say, I think I've just got too many things on my plate and I can't have this many activities. And I'll look to either share some with a colleague or prioritise them or, change things in my calendar to try to make it not so overwhelming. But yes, for a few days, I will be tracking everything in my calendar. And that includes, as I said, sport and potentially times when I'm going to be eating. But let me know, do you find that there's particular points in your academic calendar that are super busy? I know the students right now are super busy because they're writing up their coursework, they're preparing for their exams. And I know as academics we're super busy just because we seem to have so many things to do. But let me know in the comments, do you have a lot to do at the moment? Is your teaching timetable quite light? Where are you in terms of your academic to-do list? As I said, do check out the blog if you want to see this kind of in written format. I'm going to try to do it to go alongside these videos. But in the meantime, have a really good week. I hope you get through your week if it is a busy one. Take care of yourselves and I will see you next Monday for another academic video. Bye!